I recently did a video on the Synology Surveillance station and was really impressed by it. So this video today, I'm going to do a comparison on the UniFi Protect system versus the Synology Surveillance station. We will take a look at the NVR choices, which cameras you can use, viewing options and playback options, the web interface, and what the app looks like itself. And also we'll cover any additional information you may wish to know when making a decision between these two products. If you're new here, please do hit the subscribe button, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for your support. It's always appreciated. If you do enjoy this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. And well, if you really didn't, well, maybe hit that thumbs down button twice. But anyway, let's get to it. Let's start by comparing the NVRs and recording facilities. So if we start with Ubiquiti, you can see down here, I've loaded their website. You have the NVR Pro, which has just recently come out. This allows you to add more storage than all the previous devices, so it actually gives you a space for 7 bays rather than the standard 4 bays or 1 bay. We then move on to the network video recorder, which again allows you to have 4 bays of hard drive space, so you can possibly put up to 40 terabytes of drives in there, but that allows for no redundancy. And you have the more consumer grade Cloud Key Gen 2. So this comes with the Protect software that you need, and also it comes with a 1 terabyte hard drive which can be upgraded. So that's the NVRs from Ubiquiti. So if we have a look at what Synology have to offer, the standard NVR they offer is the 1218. Now what this allows is 2 bays of hard drive space, so you can probably possibly put up to 20 terabytes of storage in there. Again, that includes no redundancy, that is just the total number of drives that we'll put in. It has a HDMI output, we'll cover that a little bit more in detail shortly. But this one actually allows you to expand, so you can buy the DX517, which allows you to expand up to 7 drives. So not only do you have the 2, but you have the ability to grow, which I don't believe at this moment Ubiquiti give you that solution. They allow you to buy the drives, but they do not allow you to expand. The way you would have to do that is to buy multiple Protects to adopt cameras in different Protect systems. I understand though Ubiquiti are coming out with stackable support. I just don't believe it's out just yet. Now, along with the NVR that Synology offer, they also have a wide range of drives you can also choose from. Now, these drives may not necessarily have the HDMI output, but they come with the DSM software, which this allows you to install the Synology Surveillance station. So it actually opens you up to a wider range of products that you can choose from to fit your needs. So you can have something that sits on a desk to something rack mountable. You can see on the screen here, this is the wide range Synology do offer. So we've spoken about recording, now let's talk about the cameras themselves. Now for UniFi, they have a specific set of cameras that can only work with their system. They have no third-party support, which means that if you were looking to retrofit something, you have cameras set up in a specific area already, you would not be able to link them into the UniFi system. Now from Synology's perspective, they have a list of over 7,900 IP cameras that they support. However, that being said, there are other features that you can use to be able to import cameras into the Synology Surveillance station. That is using an RSTP feed. I have done a demo on this on another video, so if you want to check that out, go feel free and have a look. I've dropped the links in the description below. And also they use ONVIF. Now this will allow you to go out and scan your network. If the camera has that capability, it will find the camera and join it to your Synology Surveillance station. Also, as I mentioned about the RSTP, I have actually managed to get the G3 Flex working through RSTP, setting it up as a standalone camera. So Synology seem to be a bit more open with what they allow. So you've got your hardware done, you've got your camera set up, so the next thing you want to do is viewing your cameras. Now, not everybody wants to do this. Both vendors do have applications, so Synology has the DS Cam and Ubiquiti has their Protect app where you can go and view the cameras at any point you want. But if you're scaling out a little bit more and you want to be able to keep it on a TV, or you're in an office and you want to keep the cameras up, then you want to look at something third party. We previously spoke about the Synology NVR, which has a HDMI output, but if you had something else, that HDMI output doesn't exist. So what Ubiquiti do, they do something called a viewport, which you can see behind me. This allows you to plug into your network, it's PoE, plug into your network, and plug it into a HDMI screen. This allows you to display up to 16 cameras. And if we look at what Synology have to offer, they have two different visual stations. The first one is the VS960HD. It supports dual HDMI for 4K and 1080 output, and it has a 96 channel HD live view. Now that is a bit excessive in terms of scale out. For someone that wants something a little bit smaller, there's the VS360HD, and that allows you, it doesn't do 4K, but it allows you 36 channels HD live view. In terms of both Synology and the UniFi for remote access, they both have this capability. So Synology use something called the Synology Quick Connect, where you can just sign up and you can access it through the cloud. Same with UniFi, they have their cloud key or the NVR, whatever you've purchased. They allow you to access that remotely using their cloud system. So in terms of that side of things, you're able to access both externally. So now we've looked at from the outside in, now let's have a look under the hood. So let's have a look at the two different applications and how they work. So on the left hand side you can see I have the UniFi Protect, and on the right hand side you can see I have the Synology Surveillance station. So straight off the bat, straight away, you can see they both have very different visuals in terms of how they operate. In terms of watching a live view, I'm not going to go over every single feature that is available within this, otherwise we would probably be here all day. So I'm going to pick some of the more prominent ones that you would probably use on a day-to-day basis. So the first one is live view. So you can see on the Synology on the right hand side, it's a bit squashed in because of the way this is set up. But you can see it's fairly simple and straightforward. You would just click on live view and away you go. For UniFi, it's fairly straightforward as well. So you would go to there's two different ways. You have the straight live view version, which is here, and you also have a live view option. When you go to the device on the right hand side, you'll see live feed, and that will then also load up a live feed as well. In terms of the settings within the live view, you've got the sound, snapshot, full screen and settings. Same again with the Synology Surveillance station. Maybe a couple of extra features: instant playback, sound, manual recording, so you can actually take a recording at that point if you're not continuous recording. Stream settings and camera information. So that one is also in the settings here. You've got a bunch of settings that you can play around with just here. So that's the live view. So easy enough to see the live view. What happens if you want to go back and see something? So we have within the UniFi system, we have a time lapse where it will connect to your feed and you can scroll back through as to what's happening. I've only just turned this back on, so there's not a lot on here, but it's a scroll wheel, and there will be a line where there is motion. If I go to the Synology, we want to go back to timeline. So there's two ways here. There's timeline, and again here you can scroll through, go back through, and you can see where there's motion, where there's not motion. So that's through there. And also you can go back and you can use recordings. Now recordings will give you all the recordings that have been taken today, so you can go back and grab those files. So fairly easy to export and download the files as you need. In terms of the UniFi ones, again, it's just here, download button, and you can download the clip that you wish to download. So again, in terms of viewing and playing back, both Synology and UniFi look fairly similar in terms of how they work. One more difference between the two is that they both give motion detection notifications. So on your app, if there's a motion detected in a specific time where you've asked for it, or all the time, then you will get those motion detections. The one thing that the Protect software gives you a little bit more of, something called smart zones. And what that basically is it allows you to select zones, smart detection zones. You can add them in, and for wherever you want it configured. Let me just make that full screen at the moment. So you can motion how sensitive you want it. Now what this does out of the box is it does person detection and it does vehicle detection. So it can pick up cars and people, and it can notify you accordingly. Now if you wanted something like this on the Synology side of things, it is possible, and I think it's a little bit more in depth too. You would need to buy their specific deep learning NVR, which is the DVA3221. Now what this gives you is it gives you scalability, it gives you real-time analytics, and you can actually scale it up to 14 more drives. But what this then gives you is similar. It gives you the facial recognition, people and vehicle detection, but it gives you that little bit more. So it also gives you people counting, so you can count how many people enter and exit, and also it will give you the intrusion detection. Now what this means is when you set a line, you can actually detect someone that crosses that line. It can send you an alert on this. So I've not actually had the chance to play around with this model, but I'm hoping to very soon. So if it is something you want to see, drop me a comment down below and hopefully I can get that video for you soon. Now, one of the really big differences between the Synology and the UniFi Protect is the licensing. Fortunately or unfortunately, whichever way you look at it, the Synology does have some licensing fees. So it comes with the DS920 that I'm using at the moment, that comes with 2 licenses, but if you wish to buy any additional licenses, they would cost you extra. Just bringing up a link to Amazon. Affiliate links are in the description below, so if you do want to buy this or you need it, the links are down there. Please do use them, as it does help me out to bring you more content. You're looking at £51.99 in the UK per camera. There are some cameras that have multiple lenses, so the licenses change a little bit different. Do have a little look at Synology's website if you are going that much into the Synology side of things. 8 licenses is £310.99, so a little bit more of a discount. There is a 4-pack as well. For some reason, not quite sure why there's a toner there, but this is the 4-pack, so that's £172.47. So a little bit different in terms of prices. So £51.99, so £52 for 2, £172 for 4, and £310 for 8. That being said, there is a lot more functionality within the Synology. That being said, there is a lot more granular settings that you can play around with, and also the additional thing I haven't shown you yet is the applications that are available within the Synology Surveillance Station. There's a wide range of apps that you can add on to make it more customizable to what you need to tailor to your solution. As I said, there was the application live camera, so you can actually turn your mobile phone into a camera. There's a video converter, evidence integrity analyzer, and some of the ones at the top, you've got the visual station, as I mentioned about that. You've got the live broadcast, so you can use it as a live broadcast if you want. You can integrate third-party joysticks, IP speakers, edge recording. So if your camera has SD card functionality, you can actually add that. It will record to the SD card just in case the connection gets cut, and then shift the information back. So there's a lot more in here, and there is more in terms of door access control and integration with third-party items. Whereas UniFi have their own door access facilities. They have the UniFi Access. Again, I've done a video on this, so feel free to go back through my videos and have a little look on this. But there's no real integration between the Protect and the Access just yet. So let's have a little look at the Protect app. So this is the front view where you would see a list of the cameras, and then you could go to events and see what all the different events are, and activities if you wanted to see what the activities are. The other thing you want to do is, if you want to go through and see the events, you can go through and scroll through the timeline. It's loading the history at the moment. But you actually see a scroll wheel on the left hand side, which you can see just here, and you can scroll through to see what's happening. So that's fairly simple and easy, and you can see where the motion is or where the cameras come online, and then there's the settings in the top right hand corner to give you access to all the settings. And if you want to change the view from a scroll wheel to just when there's motion, you can do that also as well. So that's fairly simple and straightforward, and it's the same with the other one. You can just choose your cameras from there. So the application itself is fairly good, fairly simple, and fairly intuitive. So this does exactly what you need it to do in terms of an app. So if we then take a look at DS Cam, similar sort of thing to the front. You can choose the camera you want. I've only got one on here, but you can scroll through the timeline at the bottom, and you can seek through, extend the timeline, rewind, fix the aspect ratio, whatever you need to do. You then got your cameras, which gives you the list of cameras, which you can then click and do the same sort of thing. So you've got 2 different ways of doing this. You can access to your recordings from here, snapshots, notifications, and last but not least is home mode. Home mode is something that, again, differentiates UniFi between Synology. Home mode allows you to set certain settings once you've enabled geolocation. So once you're away from your house, say at the moment you have motion recording and you want to do continuous recording when you leave the house, you can do that by just setting it up on here. Let me know in the comments below which one you'll be choosing, Synology or UniFi. I really hope you found this video useful, and if you want to see more like this, leave me a comment down below and I'll see what I can do. Any links I've mentioned in the video are in the description below, along with my Amazon affiliate links. Please do use these links to buy anything from Amazon, as it does help me out. For now, this is Inside Wire, and I'll see you in the next one.